Thank you for joining us here at Tax, the platform where we try to demystify the sometimes confusing world of international tax. And today we have the honor and the privilege of two very distinguished guests to help us understand international tax for Brazil. And that's Pilar and Rodrigo. Would you guys like to introduce yourself? Ladies first, Pilar.
Oh, hello, everyone. Really nice to be here. I'm a Brazilian tax advisor. I'm also an academic, and I've been working at HHP, that's a Dutch law firm with international cases. I think that's the main thing.
Fantastic. And Rodrigo.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rodrigo. Thanks, Darren, for the invitation to be here. I'm a tax lawyer in Brazil. I'm a tax partner at Mota Fernandes. We are a law firm based in Rio, São Paulo, and Brasilia, the capital of Brazil. I'm also a tax professor here in Brazil. I teach tax law at the court here in Rio de Janeiro. We have a law school at the court, so I teach tax law for those who want to be judges here in Brazil. So basically, I have this experience acting as a tax lawyer and also as a tax professor here.
Fantastic. Some jurisdictions, particularly in Europe, they have these rules where if someone who was previously a tax resident were to leave and go to a so-called tax haven, certain rules would apply to them. So if someone is tax resident in Brazil and they go to a so-called low tax jurisdiction or tax haven, do special rules apply to them? Can there be any fallback and Brazil still continue to tax them? Is there any special treatment, or it doesn't really matter?
You are talking like something like as Portugal, that when you leave and you go to a tax haven, you are still treated as a tax resident for some years.
Correct,
I don't know any rule about that in Brazil.
Portugal?
No, we don't have. You can live for any country, and you be continue to. It doesn't change the way you were treated. If you leave and you are leaving your tax residency in Brazil, is a fact. Brazil will continue to see you as a non-resident in Brazil, so it doesn't change.
That might have a reason. Actually, depending on how you structure your wealth, your assets, your income. If you are really rich in Brazil, you can really avoid taxation living in Brazil. Mainly middle class they don't have how to run away of taxation compared with really rich people living in Brazil. So I think that might be a reason to not really be worried about that. Some people say that depending on how you have for example, if you have a boat, you don't pay tax over this boat in Brazil. If you have a car, a middle class car, a work class car, you pay taxes. Some kinds of investments that rich people do, they are less taxed than the kind of investments middle class do. So I'm not sure that this is the reason, but yes, I have a tax consultant friend, and he says that Brazil is a tax haven depending on how you structured your assets and your wealth. I'm not sure if Rodrigo agrees. I'm not sure if I totally agree, but yes, some people say that.
I think you always have ways to be more tax efficient. I think it's a way. The fact is the working class in Brazil, basically they do have only one source of income. And when his employer pay the income, there's a withholding. So basically this person cannot avoid taxation. So when you talk about people that have one or two sources of income, of course it's more difficult to tax plan anything. It's more difficult. When you have people more wealthy that have different sources of income, at this moment you have more ways to plan your life, and then of course pay tax in a more efficient way. So basically is what happens.
I can give you a simple example.
Please, yeah.
If you receive your salary, if you receive your income as an employee, you are going to be taxed by income tax. If you are a partner, and it doesn't matter how much you earn as a partner, the distribution of profits is exempt.
Right, but then
some people would say that you have the taxation on the company.
You said that distribution from a partnership will be free of tax, correct?
No, not only partnership, a company too.
Company too. Okay.
Yes, company too.
Right. So the dividends, so when the shareholder or partner receives the dividends or receives the partnership distribution, don't they have to declare it on their own and pay taxes on it?
They don't have to pay tax on that.
You have to declare, but you don't pay tax.
But you don't have to pay tax. Yes.
Wow. Okay, because you're trying to avoid double taxation. Because if it were a company, the company would have paid corporate tax.
That's the concept.
That's the concept. But it doesn't really matter how much you earn.
Wow.
Okay. And how much the company earn. So many people are going to say that's the best system because it really avoids double economic taxation. Others would say that it's really unequal and unfair with labor class. We decide the philosophical discussion. If you are earning lots of money as a shareholder or a partner, it's people are happy about this rule.
Wow, that's quite interesting.
And one very interesting thing to add. Even if you are paying those profits to a non-resident, if you are remitting the money abroad, you don't have to tax. And even if this non-resident lives in a tax haven.
Still no tax. So there's no withholding tax on the way out to Brazil.
If you are paying... If you're paying profits, if you are distributing profits, let's say this way, you don't have the taxation to no different type of partner. If it's an individual, if it is an entity, you don't have, because the concept is the company or the partnership already paid all those taxes. Yeah, that's the concept. I'm not getting into if it's fair or not fair, but the concept is the concept is the company paid those taxes over this revenue. So when distribute free of any tax.
The company has to be, or the partnership has to be taxable in Brazil. If it's a company or partnership taxable outside Brazil, this rule doesn't apply.
Right. So therefore it can be quite attractive to that high net worth Brazilian to reside outside of Brazil in a lower tax jurisdiction and enjoy the fruits of their business that operate in Brazil. I see that working. Yeah. Okay.
So if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle, the freedom, and even the tax savings you're looking for. Visit us at htj.tax and live that international life.